morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to RC Plane Builder 2. RC Plane Builder was the first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, with a review of the new upgraded RadioLink A560 airplane. Now, what is the A560, folks? It is a 4-channel trainer plane. It's a very good plane, easy to fly by beginners and experts alike. This thing can do amazing stunts, folks. If you see my video that I did 4 years ago of the original A560, it's an amazing airplane, what it can do. But there were some issues with the original A560, particularly in the design of the aircraft, the structural design of the aircraft. And I'm going to go over real quick here because I still have my original A560, by the way. But first off, the whole thing was, the original A560 was held together by hot melt glue. Okay, everything on it was held together by hot melt glue, which would break. You know, it wasn't the strongest thing in the world. I'll give you some examples here. The front motor on the original A560 was held in place by hot melt glue onto the structure. This would come off very easily, especially in a crash. The way I got around that was I braced it with some more hot melt glue and some plastic that I cut out from credit cards. Another thing about it, you know, the A560, all the braces that held this plane together were hot melt glued together. Not very good because those would break, particularly like the landing gear. The landing gear becomes ineffective after maybe the first or second flight. If you landed on it, it would get loose and jiggle around like that, folks. Not very effective landing gear on the original A560. So that had to be corrected someday, in which they did, and I'll go over that when we talk about that. Another thing was the battery on the original A560, the battery holder for it. It was just a little slot in the fuselage that you slid it in there. Not very good holder. It would come loose, easy to fall out of there. Some tried to fix that with Velcro. There's other ways of getting around it, but it's just not a really good means of holding the battery in. They corrected that also on the A560. Okay, now let's go over the actual aircraft itself, the new A560, the upgraded version of this. Okay, it's a true 4-channel airplane, just like the original A560. But again, it's most suitable for most beginner flyers because it has stabilized mode. Okay, this has the same features that you see in such as the Eachine Warbird series, where it has a stabilized mode that prevents the aircraft from rolling over, tipping over. If you're in that mode, you know, all you need to do if you get into trouble is let go of the sticks, and this aircraft will automatically right itself. So very good, easy to fly. It's suitable for indoor and outdoor flying. It flies slow enough. You can make it fly slow by very slow actually, by doing a calibration, a nose-up calibration of the gyros, and that'll give you a high angle of attack on the aircraft, and it can fly very slowly, such as for indoor flying in a gym. Or if you want to fly it outdoors, you do the reverse, you know, maybe pop up the tail bit and it'll make it fly faster for outdoors in the wind. So again, suitable for indoor and outdoor flying. All components on the aircraft are easily accessed, say if you need to repair something or replace something, such as the receiver, the ESC on it, the servos. Easily get to it because it's right there. They're on the exterior surface of the aircraft. So again, very easy to repair aircraft. Let me just flip it upside down so you can see it like that. It's pretty neat design the way it is. Okay, now it is powered by a brushless SZ Speed 2206F 1450 kV motor right there with GemFan 8038 props. Now these props are held in place by a rubber band, folks. The idea being in a crash, they're gonna fall off. In addition, the ESC on this is a smart ESC, so if it senses any resistance at all on that propeller, say in a crash, the ESC is smart enough to stop the power going to the motor to prevent damage to the motor and to prevent damage to the circuits and the ESC of that aircraft. Other things about it, that ESC is 15 amps. It's a 15 amp ESC, which means, there it is, 15 amps, which means this can use 2S or 3S batteries with this particular aircraft. It does come with two 2S batteries, and these are 7.4 volt 30C batteries, as you can see here, 660 milliampere hour. Now these are supposed to give the aircraft about 20 minutes of flight time in airplane mode, and about 10 minutes in vertical mode. And what do I mean by vertical mode? This airplane can fly straight up and down, folks, on its tail. It can go on its tail, or it can fly like an airplane. And actually, it has 6 different flight modes. Let's go over them, actually. It first has stabilized flight mode, which is for beginner pilots, again, as I have mentioned. That prevents the aircraft from exceeding a certain angle, either in roll or in pitch, to prevent the beginner pilot from rolling over and crashing the airplane. And even if he doesn't, to get into trouble, the beginner pilot, all he needs to do is let go of these sticks, particularly the pitch roll stick, and this airplane will automatically right itself and level itself in stabilized mode. Now it has a second mode, gyro mode. In gyro mode, it turns off those angle restrictions, but it still has some stabilization for wind gusts. Say a wind gust tries to knock it over, the gyro mode will prevent that and try to keep the plane flying in the orientation that you are trying to get it to fly in using these controls. However, there is no automatic leveling. Okay, if you let go of the pitch roll stick in gyro mode, it'll stay in whatever mode it was in. So if it's going straight at the ground and you let go of the stick in gyro mode, it's not going to correct itself and it will crash. So you got to be careful in gyro mode. Now in manual mode, manual turns off all gyro stabilization completely. That is for expert pilots, folks. The reason you want to turn off manual mode is if you want to do full manual flying, full acrobatics. Again, this is for proficient flyers only. Okay, I would, even intermediate pilots are going to have a problem in manual mode. So I don't recommend manual mode, especially for a beginner pilot or an intermediate pilot taking this out for the first time or so. You will get into trouble if you do that. Now I mentioned it has vertical modes. It has vertical multi-copter mode and vertical helicopter mode, or multi-rotor mode and vertical airplane mode. And what does that mean, folks? In vertical multi-rotor mode, the controls, I'm going to come on the other side of the table here so that I can explain this here to you. Hold on. In vertical multi-copter mode, the pitch roll stick performs just like you're flying a gyrocopter, or not a gyrocopter, I'm sorry, a quadcopter, okay, or a drone, in other words. This would be your pitch, where it goes forward and back while it's in vertical mode. This would be your roll, where it slides right and left. And this would be your yaw and throttle to make it go up and down. And yaw, I mean, it would turn like this. Now, that's great for drone pilots, okay? Drone pilots will be able to fly this very easily in vertical multi-copter mode. However, airplane pilots, those that fly 3D, they're going to be confused, because normally when they go up like this in 3D and they're flying 3D with their airplane and they go like this, they're going to expect normally the airplane to go like this. In other words, rolling, it'd be yaw, vertical yaw, in other words. So in airplane mode, what they do is for airplane pilots that fly 3D, to prevent them from being confused, they swap the pitch roll to the left side and they swap the yaw to the right side. So in effect, when you go like this in airplane vertical mode, the airplane is going to slide like so. In effect, it'll be controlling the rudder on the aircraft, so it'll slide to the right or left. And when you go like this would be controlling the ailerons on the aircraft, so it'll go like that. Again, in multi-copter mode, when you go like this, when you go to multi-copter mode, this would be controlling the rudder to make it slide right or left, and this would be controlling the ailerons to make it twist right or left. So that's the explanation of vertical mode helicopter versus vertical mode airplane. It's kind of confusing from the manufacturer, but that's how it is, folks. It's to prevent confusion between airplane pilots and drone pilots when they go into vertical mode. And there is one other mode that I forgot to mention. It is acrobat mode. Okay, this has an acrobat mode, which is very similar to the mid mode that you see on the Ishin Warbird series aircraft, which allows you to do, in addition to loops, you can do loops, stabilized loops. This will also do rolls, folks. So you can do just about any stunt. But if you get into trouble, as with the beginner mode, if you let go of those sticks, this will automatically, say if you're upside down like so, doing a roll and you go, uh-oh, I lost orientation, I don't know what to do next. Just let go of the sticks. This will automatically right itself, even if it's upside down, which is really neat. Okay. Now, the Ishin Warbirds don't have the capability of doing rolls in their mid mode. Okay, their stabilized mid mode. This one does. And Ishin, if you're listening, I recommend you consider doing what RadioLink does, because this is a neat airplane, what this thing can do. And I'm going to demonstrate that when we go out in the field, folks, how this does rolls, and it does them very nicely. Now, let's do the final wrap up before we take it out in the field. I want to go over some of the final things that I forgot to mention already. First off, it's constructed of flexible polypropylene foam that makes it somewhat crash resistant for beginner flyers. I did mention it has that quick disconnect propeller in the front that's held in place by these rubber bands. You get a whole bag of these rubber bands because you're going to probably lose them if one of these comes loose. But even if you do lose them, they are just little O-rings. You can find these at your hardware store, or even use a rubber band if you got not strong enough rubber band to hold that on there. Other things, let's see. It's extremely lightweight. It weighs only 207 grams with that battery attached. What does that mean? This airplane does not require registration in most countries, folks. That's a big thing in itself right there. It uses this is the ready to fly version. There's a PNP version if you want to install your own own receiver on this and use your own transmitter. There's instructions in the manual how to do that. It's a little bit involved, but the ready to fly version, you don't need to worry about the instructions in the manual setting the thing up. It is ready to go with this particular transmitter right out of the box. Okay, this transmitter is the T8S controller. It has FHSS spread spectrum. It has 4-kilometer range, folks. So this thing will fly this little airplane out pretty far. So I don't know why you would be flying out of 4 kilometers with this, but it supposedly has the capability to do that. The controller includes a built-in 1S 900 milliampere hour battery to power it. Let's see other things about it. I need to mention how this. Let me come back to this side of the table, and I got to bring my cheat sheet with me because this is one thing that is kind of confusing, folks. This is the controls for it. I mean, this is the control sheet from the instruction manual. But to select all those different modes on that, there are a combination of these switches here. Okay, for that stabilized mode, this switch here has to be forward, and this switch here has to be also forward. And that enables the aircraft to fly in that stabilized mode where if you let go of the sticks, it will automatically right itself. If you want to go to gyro mode, where it has wooden gust correction, but does not have automatic stabilization to bring itself level, to go to that mode, you bring this switch, what is this, channel 6, switch to center position like so, but leaving this switch forward. You don't touch this switch. And to go to manual mode, where you turn off the gyros completely, you bring this switch all the way toward you, and that puts it in manual modes. Okay, now I'm going back to full stabilized mode with this switch for it. Now to go in those vertical modes, you need to bring this switch all the way back. And this switch will be vertical mode multi-rotor if you leave that in forward position where it flies like a drone. And if you want to go fly it like an airplane, you bring it all the way back like so. So for the airplane folks that want to fly in vertical. Now, if you move it to center position, that is what's called, again, the acrobat, stabilized acrobat mode, which is, again, similar to the mid mode on the Ishin aircraft, Ishin Warbirds. And you just leave this one in back and this one in center. And actually, that's the one I'm probably going to use the most when I go out in the field. So we're going to fly, first we're going to start stabilized mode with both of these forward like so. And then we're going to go to vertical mode multi-rotor by bringing both of these sticks back like so. And that's going to switch it in the vertical mode. I'm going to fly it like a drone for a while, and then we're going to go into the acrobat mode for most of the flights by leaving this switch backward and this switch center position like so. So that is the aircraft. Let's go what you get in the package here. You get actually a lot in this package. I forgot to mention, you got that carrying case. I got a picture of that. I'm going to include the carrying case. Again, this is a portable aircraft. You can break it down and assemble it within minutes, folks. It's really not that hard. I'm really impressed how they made this easy to take apart and easy to put together airplane. And you can put it right back in its carrying case again and go take it home and store it in that carrying case. But again, it comes with the aircraft unassembled that you got to assemble yourself. It takes about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes the first time you do it. But after that, it's real fast. You get the assembly instruction, which is very well written. It shows how to assemble it and how to disassemble it step by step. Okay, so no problem at all learning how to put it together and take it apart, because this is well done. Well done there, RadioLink, including that in there. You get the instruction manual, very detailed, goes over the points of the aircraft, fine points of the aircraft. You get a spare propeller, spare gem fan propeller. You get a charging cable for the T8S controller. You get a bunch of these rubber bands, actually, these, yeah, I'll call them rubber bands, for the aircraft propeller. You get spare linkages for the aircraft. There's control rod linkages there. You get some spare tape. If you have any damage to the aircraft, you can tape it together with the tape. You get a little screwdriver. I'm not really quite sure what the screwdriver is for, other than to take off the motor off of there. And you get 2 batteries with this particular aircraft. Again, two batteries, along with a battery charger. It's a USB style battery charger, so you can charge this with a power bank out in the field, or charge it through a USB phone charger in your car if you have such. So that's pretty nice too. It's a 2S USB charger, which is nice. And you get a nice little key link or keychain that comes with the aircraft. It's actually nice. I like it. So that's what you get in the package with the new A560 from RadioLink. Let's take this puppy out into the field, folks, and see how it flies. I'm kind of excited to fly it. Hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to Pleasant Ridge Park here in Girard, PA for the inaugural flight of the RadioLink A560. Okay, I already have this bound to the transmitter and ready to go with the drone, or the airplane. Notice the stabilization system is working nicely, and we're going to need it today too, because we got it's a breezy day today, folks. I want to see if this actually can fight the breeze. So we're going to stay in, I already have it connected to the controller. We're going to stay in stabilized mode for a bit and see how it flies with wind, by checking the throttle and giving it a toss. So here we go. Okay. I'm in stabilized mode, full stabilized mode right now. Flying nicely in stabilized. Now let me go to the 3D mode. And to do that, I need to go to that and center position, center. Okay, that's stabilized mode. Back to full stabilized mode. That was a trick position mode, folks. Going back to full stabilized because it is breezy today, and I want to show you this flying in the breeze. See, it's doing a good job, I guess, flying in the breeze. Let's try that again. Full forward, up, center and up, climbing straight up and forward, and doing a loop up there, and going back to stabilized. Okay, I really wanted to do some stunts today, folks, but just that it's capable of flying today is a stunt in itself, because it's windy. Now this thing is real quiet, as you can hear. You can't hear it. We go straight up. Such a great flyer, huh? Yeah, the RadioLink A560 original one was pretty cool too. Let's go center position, straight up and rolling it. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Coming back down because it's too breezy up here. Okay, I am gliding back down. Just doing rudder turns. This thing just loves to stay in the air. Let's bring it in close. Yeah, the coolest airplane, this has always been the coolest airplane that I've flown, folks, was the original RadioLink A560, and this one's cool also. And that's why I kept it all these years. The A560 is a neat airplane. Wonderful airplane, actually. You can fly this indoors, outdoors, whatever. Okay, the wind stopped. Going back to this position, going up, and flying inverted. And I don't know how to fly inverted. You can do that with this airplane. And coming back down again. So ain't that neat? I don't know how to fly inverted. I can fly straight up with this airplane. This is stabilized mode. You can do this, folks. Straight up. Coming back down again. Okay. I was going to try the vertical modes. It ain't going to happen today because of the wind. In fact, I tried it already. It doesn't want to go into vertical mode in this wind. If you want to go vertical, you just go straight up. There's plenty of power on this thing to go straight up. Look at that. That's that brushless motor on it. Okay. Now the disadvantage of this thing is it's hard to remember these stick positions. Okay, inverted, I'm flying inverted, looping it, or rolling it. Hear that chip, chip, chip? That's because I got cheap dollar store batteries in this. It's telling me I was getting a little too far away. It lets you do, it lets you know that when you get too far away. Look how slow this thing can fly. So RadioLink A560, that's the full turn on it. Watch it do a turn on a dime here. It can fly in the wind like that. It's amazing too. Okay. You can do all kinds of stunts with this airplane, even if you don't know how. Just make sure that you put it back in stabilized mode so you don't crash it. Okay, going downwind, had to pick up the speed a bit. That ain't dollar store batteries. I don't think this charge or this controller is fully charged. You hear that beep, beep, beep? Maybe the battery's getting a little bit low. I'm going up, 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 cutting back. So, yeah, I like this airplane, folks. Let's do some more stunts here since the wind has died down. Going up and doing spirals as it goes up. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Pull that. Going back to stabilized and turning it around toward me. See, I got into trouble there. And just go to stabilized and no problem at all. Let's go back up again and try that. Stabilize. Can I come out of that? Yeah. Neat airplane, huh? Neat airplane, the 560. Turns on a dime. This is one of those 3D airplanes, Foamies. That's what they call them, Foamies. I'm trying to remember what they were called. But this one is nice. It's a real nice Foamy. You can fly it real slow if you want. Or speed it up by adjusting that gyro. Remember, you can adjust that gyro stabilization by bringing both sticks down and out. You know, if you want to go faster, you raise the tail up a bit on the ground while you're doing the gyro stabilization or gyro calibration, and it will do that. Coming around, what's in the wind? By the way, how do you like my new camera that I'm using today? My old camera, my dog thought it was a chew toy. So I had to go get a new camera. And I'm trying it out today. This is my first video with it. So let me know how this camera's working out, if you like it or not, because we'll see if I continue using it. Oh, I like that. Look at the slow rolls as it goes up, 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 and then stabilize it while it's up there. And then cutting the throttle back, and we're going to glide it back down. Okay, turning up the throttle a bit. Those dits are telling me we are getting close to the end of the battery. That's what it is. I'm trying to, what is that? So we're going to call it quits here shortly. The battery on the airplane is getting low. So let's see if I can go to vertical mode. I haven't done it yet. Well, I can't do it because the battery's on. We're going to land it right here. So that is the RadioLink A560. Such a neat airplane. Such a neat airplane. I like it. I didn't go to vertical mode because of the wind today. I'm sorry. It would have been hard to control it anyways, but it's working fine. It is a great airplane. I like it. Pretty neat. Let's try that vertical mode. Let's see if I can stick it into vertical mode. Hold on real quick. To do that, I need to go to that center position and to that position. That should be vertical. Let's see if it's vertical. Yeah, that should be it. Let's see if we can take off vertically. Oh, no, that's not vertical mode. Oh, I think I need to go full back. I am full back. Center position. There's vertical. And going back to horizontal. We're not going to do too much vertical. That's not a big thing for me to fly vertically with this. Be able to just fly it in this wind is pretty neat. And landing it again like an elevator. So, RadioLink A560, neat airplane. The original was a very neat airplane. So is this. Okay, now it has portability in mind. You can break it down easily and put it away, store it or transport it. The original was held together strictly by the hot melt glue. The original, these were bad. The original, they're great now. They fixed that problem. So, all in all, great airplane. I like it. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101 with the A560. Quadcopter 101, signing out. Okay, the wind's died down just as I got home, so we're going to try this vertical mode here in my front yard. Okay, to put it in vertical mode, I need the front switch forward, this back switch back, and let's double check the, make sure these are working properly. This one goes back, and that one goes forward. So that's working the way I think it should work, forward. Okay, so we should be good to go. Let me get in the middle of the yard here. And the wind's coming from that way. And there we go, vertical mode. Flies just like a quadcopter. Just like a quadcopter. You rotate it. So, there, vertical mode. And we'll plop it right there. just a quick test to show you that it does do vertical mode. So, that's pretty cool, huh? Want to do it again? Let's do it one more time. I had a second battery here. Just to prove it, you can do vertical mode. I'm going to plop it there because the wind's picking up. And again, vertical mode, it's probably done best inside a gym or on a day with no wind. So just let you know that it can fly vertically. I wanted to prove that. Okay, Quadcopter 101. Hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101, signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.